Hi team, I hope you're all well. Today we're going to be starting a new reading vlog and I'm very excited. I am combining two different things to do this reading vlog, in fact three actually, and I'm really hyped. Before we do get into what exactly that is though, I do want to apologise for how snuffly and stuffed up I sound. There is, you know, it's that time of year, the weather's changing, everyone's getting poorly. And my brother is very poorly with a cold right now, and I was at work with him yesterday. I've been fighting a cold for over a week now, and last night I got home and felt horrific. I am a huge empath, and if someone I love is not well in any way, shape or form, I will do my very hardest to try and take that away from them and put it on myself. My dad always said I would be great as a therapist, and I said to him I'm not sure that would work out well for me. I would be a good therapist, but I would bring their stuff home with me every single night and it would not be good for my own mental health. But yeah, so if I sound snuffly or I'm sniffling, I will do my best to cut it out, but that is why. So I'm not too well, but I'm very excited for this weekend. It is in fact I'm combining like 4 different things this weekend. It's the F1 readathon with my patrons this weekend. The prompt is to read something that intimidates you. So like a big book or something you wouldn't normally pick up, or something that's been on your shelves for a while, whatever that is for you. I'm not necessarily going by the prompt, quite frankly, because I'm combining this with a whole bunch of other things. So it's the F1 readathon. It is almost Halloween, and it is Spookopoly this month, the month of September, which is Becca's readathon. And month of September, that's because it's usually in the month of September. The month of October, that is Becca's readathon, and I'm having a great time so far with my original October Spookopoly TBR. I haven't finished it yet. But I've decided that I want to roll as I go for this 24-hour readathon, for the F1 readathon. On top of that, I also want to do the timer method again, because I had a really great time doing that last time, and I'm intrigued to see how much I can get through again this weekend. I'm just hoping that it works out okay and I don't get more and more sick as the weekend goes on and I can't complete it, because that would be annoying. But we'll see how it goes. I've let you know in advance that I'm not too particularly well, so if it doesn't go to plan as the video goes on, you know in advance. But yeah, so I'm combining the F1 readathon, Spookopoly, the timer method, and I would like to try and make these books as Halloween-y as possible. So I would like to stick to, like, it's going to be difficult because there maybe things come up that don't fit. I mean, I don't know, I can't remember off the top of my head what the board looks like, but there may be something that comes up that doesn't fit the Halloween-y creepy season. But I would like to try and stick within that realm as much as I possibly can, because I'm proper in the mood for horrors, thrillers, sci-fi, you know, that kind of thing. For example, I don't know if romance is on the board at all. I don't think it is, but if it was, I would do my very best to try and pick like a romantic suspense novel, for example. So that's what's going on here today. I am very excited. I do have the community shelf cards as they were for the board when I did it for my October TBR. However, the chance cards that the chance cards that I do still have, I'm actually thinking that what I might do for the chance cards is make some new ones and put books on them that were on my original Spookopoly TBR that I haven't finished yet, because I would like the chance to still try and get to those. I would love to complete both this Spookopoly and my original October Spookopoly TBR. Now I don't have much left on that TBR as far as I'm aware. I've been doing really well with it, which is fantastic news. I've read that and that, so I've got 3 left. I've got Starfell, House of Salt and Sorrow and Hidden Pictures, so I'm thinking that I might put those on there instead. I'm either going to make new cards for them or I'll put them on a spinner wheel several times, just to give it more chance to land on something. And yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. On top of that as well, I am already partway through 2 books at the moment, what I'm currently reading. I am partway through Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I've taken the dust jackets off, so I don't wreck them. Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I'm about 71 pages into that. And I'm about 138 pages into If I Have to Be Haunted by Miranda Sun. So if I can fit these in, that would be great as well. They're also perfect for this season as well. So yeah, that is the plan. I hope I've explained everything okay and it makes sense. And without further ado, let's get into the first roll that I actually did last night, because I really wanted to start thinking about what I was going to be reading this morning, especially with me not feeling 100%. I wanted to give myself the motivation to actually do this and not just sit on the couch all weekend and fester and just give up on this plan entirely, because I've been really excited about this all month. So let's get into the first roll. Okay, so last time we did end on Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I don't know where Doomslug's gone, so we're just going to use her. And let's go for our first roll. We have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A big book. Oh, Jesus. Alright. That first roll has potentially thrown me under the bus a little bit. I panicked last night when I did this. I was like, shit. A big book? Why? For my first prompt? Is that necessary? There are a lot of options I have on my shelves here, but like I say, I wanted to stick within the creepy, you know, spooky, Halloween-y season. So I had a good think. I dragged a couple books off of my shelves. I could see I could have gone with Empire of the Vampire, but I just didn't want to focus my entire weekend on one book. I wanted to get through several books in this 24-hour period, and that audiobook is like 27 hours long, so it would take me the majority of the weekend to get through. So I did decide on a reread. I haven't done much rereading this year, and there was a whole bunch of books that I wanted to get to reread this year, and I haven't done a lot of it, in all honesty. Like, I'm still halfway through rereading ACOTAR that I started at the start of the year. I've just been focusing on reading new books, which is great, but I do love to reread, and I feel like the mood I'm in right now with how, like, ill I am feeling, and I know as the day goes on it's gonna get worse, I feel like a reread will be really comforting for me. It will help me want to continue on with the challenge and continue on with the day. So I think a reread is a great way to start, and I have picked one, obviously, that's over 500 pages. I've actually picked one that's over 600 pages. Now, I reread this series almost every year. I didn't reread it in 2021, but I reread this series almost every year. I read it for the first time in 2019. But I reread the first one in this series last year and didn't continue. So I'm going to continue with the second one, because it's my favourite anyway. And out of the 3, I feel like this is the one that I feel like is a combination between sci-fi and horror the most. This is the one that the first time I ever read it creeped me out so badly. And I was like, dude, this is like 60-40 sci-fi horror. Like, there is some horrific things going on in here. So I am going to be picking up Gemina by J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. I don't know if any of you guessed that or not. I did read Illuminae last year, but didn't continue on with the reread. So I'm going to continue on with the reread now. So I've read Illuminae 3 times, I've read Gemina twice, and I've read Obsidio twice. And I would like to continue on with this reread. When I bought these hardbacks off of eBay, this one turned up with no dust jacket. It makes me really mad. I'm not going to lie about it. It makes me very angry. But it is what it is. At least it's the hardback edition, because I did have the paperbacks and I loved them, but they were battered because I kept rereading them. So I got the hardbacks. So this is 657 pages long. It's a chunky boy, but what I love about these books is that they're told in mixed media. So they're very quick to get through. The audiobooks are fantastic. I'm going to do audiobook and physical read at the same time. I think the audiobook is maybe 11 or 12 hours. So it's not too long. It's over 600 pages and it's not going to take me too long at all to get through, which is great news. It's going to take me, I think, did I estimate it around 7 or something hours? I can't remember. Anywho, that doesn't track. Maybe it's 16 hours long. Doesn't matter. The Illuminae files, The Illuminae Files series is a sci-fi series. It's set in space, and basically we start off following this couple that have broken up in the first book. They're in school, and good morning, Mr. Magpie, how's the wife and kids? There are these two warring companies, and this planet ends up getting blown up, and they manage to get people off the planet as quickly as they possibly can. Not everybody, but manage to get people off the planet as quickly as they can in these massive ships. And they are just trying to survive. However, there is this deadly virus going around that's starting to kill people and actually bring them back from the dead. And these people are stuck on the ships, passing this virus around, and it's terrifying, quite frankly. And as you go through the series, you follow two different people in each book until the last book, in which they all come back together. They're actually trying to bring down one of the organizations that actually made this virus, and it's fantastic. I absolutely love it. I just love the way it's told. It's such an interactive read. Oh, there is also a AI as well on board the ship. It's causing a whole bunch of problems as well. This is all from muscle memory from reading the book 3 times. So I'm hoping that I'm telling this correctly and that, you know, it's sold to you, because it's such a good read, and it's been my favourite reading experience of all time. The combination of audio and physical reading with this, because of the mixed media, it's been my favourite reading experience of all time. It's just so interactive and it really gets you going, and I have a fantastic time with this. So this is what I'm going to start off with. I'm starting way later in the day than I anticipated. I really wanted to get up about 6:30 this morning to start at 7 o'clock, because obviously when I pause and I'm not reading, so if I stop to eat something and I watch some telly instead, I pause the timer. The hours end up, so I wouldn't end up doing 7 till 7 today for a 12-hour shift. I would end up doing 7 till 8 or 7 till 9 or something. However, it's now 9 o'clock and I've just got up and got dressed and come and started this clip with you. So it's not too much later than I wanted to start, but it is later in the day. So to get me to my 12 hours, that will be 9 o'clock this evening, but it's going to be later than that. It's fine. I'm just hoping that I can stick with it, that's all. So we're going to see how this goes. I'm very excited. I've been, honest to God, so excited about this all month, because I've had it planned all month. I'm doing Patreon sprints from 12 p.m. so I've got 3 hours now to try and smash my way through some of this book before I start with patrons. And then tomorrow I'm doing the same thing. I've got a Patreon sprints with them from 12 p.m. in the afternoon, and I'm going to go for a good chunk of the day, I think. I did try and do some last night. We were supposed to be watching Miss Marvel, but I felt like shit, and I only managed to stay on for about 3.5 hours. So I'm hoping that I can go for a good chunk of the day today. The company will be great, and I'm hoping to keep this comfy and cozy and creepsy, and I'm just excited. And I'm really hoping that I get the opportunity to pick up some thrillers and horrors as well, because I am properly in the mood. We're getting closer and closer to Halloween, and I'm very excited. So I'm going to go get myself started with Gemini. I'm actually going to get myself filled up with my water bottle as well, because I really need to hydrate. Because I think I'm severely dehydrated as well. I'm going to crack open a Monster, and I am going to get something to eat for breakfast so that I can take some cold and flu tablets as well. So I'll check back in with you in a little bit.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Oh, you and I, we got it. We don't need no can weather any storm. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon. Side by side and through and through. we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
Okay, hello. It's currently 11:05 and we have 22 hours and 8 minutes left of this 24-hour readathon, and I am currently making my way through Gemini. I nearly wanted to say making my way downtown then. I'm 200 pages in, so I'm making good progress on this. We have an hour, no we don't, we have 55 minutes until sprints start, and I have a parcel, so I thought we could open it together while, you know, we're doing this thing. There's two things in here, one of which is to connect my new computer screen to my laptop. It came with only DisplayPort to DisplayPort connection, and I can't use that on my laptop, so I had to buy a HDMI to HDMI cable so that I can connect that today, which is exciting because I'm going to use my new screen during sprints. And I am hyped. I haven't had two screens for a long time. I used to only work on two screens when I worked in construction, and I've really missed having two screens. So I bought a new screen during the Amazon Prime Day sale, and it got delivered to my brother's while I was away with the girls last weekend. So I finally got it set up last night, and then I was really gutted that I couldn't actually connect it to the screen, so to the computer. So yeah, hopefully gonna sort that out soon, and then I can use it during sprints. The other thing I got as well, in order to get these sent to me before 1 PM today, I had to order over 20 quid, and this was only like £5.99 or £6.99 or something. And then I also got Monster Volume 2 because I read this during Gav Recommends Me manga vlog, and I really enjoyed the first one, so I'm excited to now have the second one. So this could also be a potential today, depending what else comes up on the Spookopoly board. So yeah, I got that as well, which is exciting news. So I'm gonna get my laptop set up ready for sprints in a little bit and carry on listening to some more of Gemini while I do that, and get my new screen connected as well. Could have sworn I went for the 1 meter one. I must have gone for the 0.3 meter. Hopefully it will stretch far enough that it will connect. I don't think it's gonna though. Struggles. Anywho, I'm gonna go, so I'll check back in with you in a little bit. Okay, hello. It is now currently 3:45 in the afternoon, and my timer says I have 17 hours and 55 minutes left. I did pause it while I had some lunch. I went down to make some lunch, also reset my internet because it's been playing up and causing problems with my sprinting, but it looks like we're back in business. So I have finished my first book, and that is Gemini by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I love this book so much. I just love this story. I love the reading experience. I love the interaction. I love everything about it, especially if you do the combo of audiobook and physical read, which I would highly recommend. My favorite reading experience of all time. Very enjoyable read. I can't tell you too much about what happens in this one specifically because it is the second in the series, and the books do follow on. It's like a whole story, but following mainly two different people in each book, but the people all come together towards the end of each book, or throughout the book, or you know, like even towards the end of Obsidio. So I love this. 5 out of 5 stars for the third time, and it will never let me down. I don't think I'll never get bored of reading this. So let's go on and do our second roll. Okay, it's time for our second roll. We got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Community shelf. Let me grab one of these. We got new release. So for my second roll, I did get a community chest card, and I did get new release, which you saw in the roll, and I picked up 3 different books that could be chosen for this. So I do have Lore Olympus Volume 5, Good Bad Girl by Alice Feeney, and then If I Have to Be Haunted by Miranda Sun, which I am currently partway through, and I'm 138 pages in. And I gave this vote to my patrons, actually. I thought I couldn't decide what to pick up, and I thought that they could pick for me. So right now, because I did this roll a little bit earlier on while I think I had about an hour left of Gemini, and I thought I would do the roll early so that I could let them pick for me. Right now we currently have 5 votes for Good Bad Girl, we have 5 votes for If I Have to Be Haunted, but a clear winner is Lore Olympus Volume 5 with 10 votes. So this should be a nice, quick, easy read for me, which I'm really happy about. Maybe I'll get through 3 books today. I think last time I did this challenge I got through 3 books on each day. So 6 in total if I remember correctly, and then I just continued on with another book. I have now finished said book. So yeah, I am going to be reading this one. This series is a Hades and Persephone retelling, and it is done in the current day situation, and so they have mobile phones, things like that. And it's really good. I really enjoy this series. The illustrations are absolutely beautiful, the artwork is stunning, the colours and everything. The themes on it, so good. I usually get the Illumicrate editions, which have sprayed edges and are signed, but they've recently started doing it in such a way that they release 2 volumes at the same time. So 3 and 4 they did together, so I assume they're going to do 5 and 6 together. So we're going to be waiting, I think, till mid next year or later on next year before we get those. So I did just purchase a copy of this one when it came out from Waterstones, just a normal copy, which I can then, you know, move on once I've finished with it and then purchase the Illumicrate editions. So I'm excited to continue on with this one. I have really been enjoying this series. I've been giving it 4 stars so far. I think a couple of the volumes have gotten 5 stars actually, but I've been really enjoying this one, and I'm excited to continue on with it. This is like the only Hades and Persephone retelling I've never DNF'd. I think I just really prefer it. I'm not a huge fan of like Greek mythology, and I don't know a lot about it. I do have a book that is essentially, I think it's essentially non-fiction. What's it called? Greek Myths. I have purchased that, and I do intend at some point on picking that up and getting more familiar with the history of Greek myths and stuff, so that when I come to pick up retellings I'm not confused. I think that's where I stumble a little bit. So I'm fine with like Norse retellings because I know a lot of the Norse mythology already, because, you know, I mean, I watch the Avengers, so I know like Thor and Odin's son and Loki, things like that. I understand that a bit more. I've got some kind of knowledge about it, but Hades and Persephone I've got no knowledge whatsoever, and sometimes I don't think it necessarily affects it. But there's been a couple of like romance heavy or smutty books that I've tried to pick up previously and ended up DNFing because I just didn't enjoy them because I don't understand the background of Hades and Persephone fully. So I'm excited to continue on with this series and see what happens next. So this is going to be my next read. Okay, so I have hopes that this will focus on me. I have just finished Lore Olympus Volume 5. It didn't take me long to read at all. I haven't ran it through Carosel yet. I reckon this one's probably actually going to get a 4. I enjoyed it. The story is still going, but although there was actually quite a few reveals in this that I wasn't anticipating, so I am so intrigued to pick up Volume 6. I love picking these up as soon as they come out, but then I'm always frustrated with myself that I don't have the next one. So it is what it is, but I'm very excited for the next one, so I can't wait for Volume 6 to come out. But yeah, I have enjoyed it. So that is my second book down, and I have just done my 3rd roll, so let's have a look at that and see how it came out. Okay, that didn't take long at all. Let's do roll number 3. We got 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got green. Nice. Okay, so we got green. I need to be quick here because I've got 1 minute and 47 seconds. We got green, and I'm actually going to follow suit with Becca on this one for her Spookopoly rolls for week 1. And I'm actually going to go with Savage Lands by Stacey Marie Brown. Don't know why I thought that said Stephanie. That's my name. This one is Becca's Patreon buddy read, actually, and I've had this on my shelves for a while. Becca's not 100% certain that I am going to like this one, but I really wanted to get to it this month. I feel like this is the time for me to read this during Becca's buddy read, so I might as well give this one a go. Cece did send me this one, so thanks so much, Cece. And I believe that this is an apocalyptic romance, which I've never read before, so that will be cool. So I am excited. It's got like a trial game thing going on with it, and I'm intrigued. Once I'm further into it, I'll give you a proper rundown of the synopsis once I know more about it, rather than just reading off the back for you. But yeah, I'm going to give this one a bash, so hopefully I can make some progress in this evening, some decent progress in this evening, if not potentially finish it. It's not too long. So yeah, I'm going to go because my sprint's about to end and I need to get started on this. So I will check back in with you when I have another update for you. Okay, hey. A lot of time has passed. It's 9:20 in the evening. I currently have 12 hours and 54 minutes left on my timer. So I've got 54 minutes till I hit the 12-hour mark. And I am on page 244 of Savage Lands. I said I was going to get a ways into this and come back and tell you what it was about, and I didn't do that. I do apologise. We're following Brexley, who is 19 years old, and 20 years ago the barrier between Earth and the other world fell in the Fey Wars. Budapest is balancing on the precipice. A battle for dominance is brewing among the elite Fey and the privileged humans in Eastern Europe. The prejudice between the sides is bubbling with hate and violence. Brexley has grown up in privilege. After being orphaned, she was taken in by the king and queen, and she's been brought up as their ward. She's best friends with their son, Caden, and she's actually in love with him as well, and it would seem that it is reciprocated. And very early on in this, she ends up finding herself in a bit of trouble and ending up in an underground prison that is run by the Fae. There are all different types of people in this prison. There are Fae, there are demons, there are humans, there are bulls that have a human form but can, you know, shapeshifters. That's what I'm looking for, bulls. It's because the example, it was a bull, is a bull. And she's now fighting for her life, essentially, in this prison. And she's got to try and find her way out. However, there is this enigma of a person called Warwick Farkas, a myth among man and fae. He is brutal, cruel, arrogant, and as lethal as the law says he is, ruling the prison with unchallenged authority. Brexley can't deny an intense draw to him, one that might cost her her life. There are these, what they call the games. Essentially, it is one-on-one fighting, and they have like some introductory fights, and then it is Warwick against another big person within the prison, and it is a fight to the death. And Brexley has found herself now at a point where she's in these fights, and it's very interesting so far. I am having a good time. I'm really enjoying the atmosphere of it. It's very dark, this whole prison situation, because she is human. She's gone in under the guise of being called Lara, I think, but she obviously, because of who she is, she doesn't want to reveal who she is, and because it would get her in a lot of trouble being the ward of the king and queen of humans, who essentially hate the Fae and have killed a bunch of Fae over the years. Would not go down well. So she's trying to keep her identity under wraps, just survive. The problem is even the humans are fighting with humans within this prison as well. So she doesn't really have any allies. She has found herself a couple. One of them's an old man, the other's a demon, and it's really interesting so far. I'm having a good time. I'm actually really enjoying it. Becca, this is good. I am having a good time. So I have ordered the second one. I'm in that situation again where this is an indie published book, and I'm terrified that it could get picked up because it might get a lot of attention. I don't know, this shit happens regularly. So I've bought the second one, and I've actually put the rest on my wish list. My birthday and Christmas are coming up, obviously, and my partner and my sister-in-law have been asking for my wish list. So I've put them on my wish list so that they are on there in case they want to get me the rest of the series or something. So yeah, they're on there now, and I've bought the second one because I have been told, one of my patrons this afternoon, I think it was Timmy, has told me that the cliffhanger at the end of this you need the second one almost immediately. So my thought process is that the second one will obviously be for November for Becca's Alpha Ho Book Club, and I can read that one in November, and then my birthday is very early on in December, so I'm going to try and make sure that I get the third one for then. And if I don't get the rest of them for my birthday and or Christmas, then I will just purchase them in the new year. So yeah, that is my thought process, but so far really enjoying it, making very good progress. I only have an hour and 33 minutes of the audio left, so I'm gonna carry on reading for the next 54 minutes just to get me down to the 12-hour mark, but at that point I'm only gonna have about 39 minutes left of the audio, so I may as well finish it. So I might continue on, we'll see. I did kind of want to watch a movie this evening, but I can't decide what to watch. I was on the fence. I want to watch the new After movie. I think it's called After Everything. I can't remember. But I feel like that will be a nice movie to watch tomorrow evening, just to reset the evening after doing another 12 hours of reading. So I'm thinking I might do that tomorrow. And then I was looking for Terminator 2, because I watched Terminator at Andy's the other day, and then he went ahead and watched the rest of them without me. Story of my life. So I was looking for Terminator 2, but you can't get it anywhere. But while I was on Paramount looking for it, the new Scream came up, and I was like, I don't need to watch that movie again. I've already seen it about 4 times since it came out. But about a month ago, me and Andy did a Scream binge, and we watched all of them back to back in a couple of days. And I'm tempted to do it again. I don't know what's wrong with me. I do this with the Halloween movies as well. Ooh, maybe I could watch one of the Halloween movies. I don't need to do that again. I don't know. I can't decide what to watch. So my brain is like, well, just carry on reading. I'm going to see how I feel. I'm going to carry on with this for a little bit anyway. I'm hoping to at least get to the 12-hour mark. Just 54 more minutes. I've come off sprints. My internet kept fucking up and I've come off sprints. Probably should have done one more really, just to get myself through that 54 minutes, but it is what it is. So yeah, I'm going to carry on with this for a little bit, but I thought I should probably come on, give you an update and let you know what this is about before I finish it. But there's a possibility for me to do another roll this evening, which is great news. I am at a point where I would really like to read 3 books today and 3 books tomorrow. That would be cool, because I think I did that in the last time. I've already said this, I'm sure. I think I did that the last time I was doing this, so yeah. But enjoying this. This is going down really, really well, and I'm sad that I've been sleeping on this, because I was anxious about picking it up, because Becca did mention that she wasn't sure I was going to like it when she spotted that I got it, so. But it turns out she was wrong about this one. She was right about Red Rising, but she was wrong about this one, so that's great news. Yeah, having a good time. I'm gonna go. Okay, hello. It is currently 4:15 midnight. And I stopped the timer when I stopped reading. Obviously, that's how this works. But I have 11 hours 27 minutes left on the clock. I did go over a bit because I wanted to finish Savage Lands by Stacey Marie Brown. I got it right this time. I really enjoyed this. I thought it was really good. The sexual tension in this book, I kept thinking it was going to happen and then it didn't. Oh my god, it was so tense. This was really good. I have gone ahead and ordered the second one. I can't remember if I already told you that, but I've gone ahead and ordered the second one. And I'm really excited for it to come. It's going to come on Monday. So I'm so keen to jump back into this series as quickly as possible. I may end up ordering the third one as well. The cliffhanger on this, very good. I've been watching that silent reviewer on TikTok. She's great. I'm so tempted to just, from now on, give my updates like... Anywho, I'm not going to do that. They would be quite boring vlogs, I think. They're great on TikTok, but not for YouTube. Yeah, I've truly enjoyed this. I had a great time with it. I think the story was fascinating. I think the plot was great. I think it was quite dark as well in places. It got quite sinister when she was in the jail, and I was very worried for how dark this book was going to take it. I think it was very intriguing. I loved the characters. I'm so intrigued to see what happens next. Very intrigued to see what happens next. And yeah, I am keen. Becca, you did not think I was going to like this one, but I did. Surprise! I'm so glad I have an excuse to get this one started, because I don't know how long it would have taken me on my own. I was so hesitant because of the fact that Becca didn't think I was going to like it, so I'm really glad that having it chosen for her Alpha Ho book club means that I've had a chance to pick it up. And I had a reason to pick it up as well. So I'm very excited that green came up on the Spookopoly board, because it forced me to pick it up. I was only saying to my patrons just before I did that roll that I really hope something comes up in which I can fit this on. So yeah, I'm very glad that that happened, and I am hyped. I haven't ran it through Carosel yet, but I reckon it's going to get 4 stars. So I had a really good time with that. And I have just done my 4th roll. So let's see what I'm going to start the day off with tomorrow. Okay, so we landed on green at last. 4th roll is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Are we out of the woods yet? Alright, so we did land on the woods prompt. So this is to read a book that is set in the woods, has an isolated setting, is set in the country, set in a forest, or has trees on the cover, and it's open to interpretation. I had quite a few options for this, actually. I had another option from this author that I'm about to show you, but I did have quite a few options, and I was just trying to find a book. Really wanted a thriller. So I was just trying to find a book that I am really intrigued about, and this has actually come off of my end of year TBR. If you haven't seen that yet, I'll leave a link to it up here. So I feel like it's good to get a start on that. I'm already partway through one of the books off of that, which is If I Have to Be Haunted. It's butterflies on that cover, so I can't continue with that one, but I have already started that one, so that I'm now on my way into getting into my 2nd book off of that list, which is really good news, to be fair, because I've got 12 books on that list, so I really need to be getting my backside into gear with that list, because it's not a small list either. But the book that I've decided to pick is All the Dangerous Things by Stacey Willingham. I also have a Flicker in the Dark that could have counted for this as well, because the cover is a woman stood in a forest. In fact, if anything, that probably would have counted more than this one, and maybe I should be reading that one first. But I'm very intrigued. In fact, I am super intrigued by that one. Do I put these on a poll on Instagram and let people choose for me throughout the night, and then I'll find out in the morning what I'm reading? Should we do that? Make it a bit more interesting. That means that my 2nd and now 4th choice has been taken away from me a little bit. I mean, I've put the books on the poll, so I am intrigued to read them. But the deciding factor has been taken away from me a little bit, which I think just throws another thing in here. Another thing into the mix, in which into the mix that we've already got going on, along with the F1 Readathon Spookopoly rolls, and trying to make it, you know, Halloweeny as well. Let me get it and I'll show you. Okay, so A Flicker in the Dark is chunkier than All the Dangerous Things. I should know the title of this book. I would like to prioritise this one because it is on my end of year TBR, and I think that's why I was picking it up, to be honest. But I have had this on my TBR for a really long time, and I should probably be getting to it. So yeah, I'm going to put these on a poll on Instagram and let the people decide, and hopefully I'll have a decision for me in the morning and I can come back and let you know which one I'm picking up. But both of these are thrillers. This is following a woman whose father was a serial killer, and she ends up coming back to the town many years later, and the killings start happening again. She starts to doubt whether or not her dad was actually the serial killer. This one is following a woman whose son has gone missing, and the police aren't doing enough as far as she's concerned, so she gets the help of a podcaster, true crime podcaster, and she, as they start looking into it a little bit more, things start being uncovered, and she's not convinced she wants to look into this anymore. So they both sound very intriguing to me, and I am keen on both of them. Obviously they're on my shelves, albeit that's not entirely true for all of the books on my shelves, I suppose. So yeah, I am gonna put this to a poll, and we'll find out in the morning what exactly, or I'll find out in the morning, you will find out in the next 30 seconds what exactly I'm going to be picking up, because it will be the next clip. So I'm going to get myself off to bed now. I really wanted to watch a film this evening, but it is quite late and I would like to get up at a reasonable time tomorrow. Albeit I've managed to get so much done today, considering I didn't start reading until 9:15, which is fantastic, and I'm really proud of myself. So maybe I could do a similar thing tomorrow and not have to force myself to get up for like 7 o'clock. We'll see what time I wake up, but yeah, really happy with what I've managed to achieve today. So this is what I have completed for today, which I think is outstanding, quite frankly, and I'm very proud of myself, and I'm not ashamed to say that. So we will carry on tomorrow with one of these 2 books. I'm going to take this picture now, put it on Instagram, and I'll come back to you with the results in about 30 seconds for me in the morning. So I'll see you then. Good morning. It's Sunday. It is late. It's 10 to 10. It's cowboy time. I haven't started reading yet this morning. I really struggled to get up. I don't know what was wrong with me. But we are back to find out what I'm going to be reading for my 4th read. I'm still hopeful I might be able to get... I don't know why I'm still hopeful. I'm still hopeful I might be able to get 3 books read today. I've just double checked on the last 24-hour reading challenge and I did read 6 books. So I'd really like to do that again. I feel like it would be really cool. But I also just had to go through and find another Becca rec because I had Savage Lands down for that and I've just read it. So I needed to find another Becca rec, but just in case. We are on the clock. We're on 10, no we're not. We're on 11 hours, 27 minutes. I say we're on the clock. I haven't started it yet, obviously, because I'm not reading yet. And last night I left you off, well, literally a minute ago for you, I left you off with the fact that I put both of these books to a poll on Instagram. So let's have a quick butchers and see how that is doing. I will do a screenshot for you all so that you can see it as well when I find out what the answer is. Oh, nearly went too far. Ooh, this is very close. We have 55 votes for All the Dangerous Things, which is 48%, and 60 votes for A Flicker in the Dark, which is 52%. So I'm going to be reading A Flicker in the Dark by Stacey Willingham. And I'm hyped. So I gave you a very brief synopsis of this last night, but I'm just going to read the synopsis real quick to tell you exactly what this is about. So Chloe Davis's father is a serial killer. He was convicted and jailed when she was 12, but the bodies of the girls were never found, seemingly lost in the surrounding Louisiana swamps. The case became notorious and Chloe's family was destroyed. His crimes stalk her like a shadow. Now Chloe has rebuilt her life. She's a respected psychologist in Baton Rouge and has a loving fiancé. But she just can't shake a tick, tick, tick of paranoia that at any moment it might all come crashing down. As does something darker. It's the anniversary of her father's crimes and Chloe's about to see her worst fears come true. A girl she knows goes missing. The nightmare has started again. So I was a little bit wrong with that. I don't know if she goes back to the town or if she's stayed in the town. When I mentioned the synopsis yesterday, but in general I was right with the synopsis. Her father's a serial killer, he's sentenced when she's younger, and then when she's older a girl goes missing and it turns out maybe it's not her father. I'm not sure if that's the case or whether he's been let out or something and it's starting again, I don't know, but I'm very intrigued by this one. It does make sense to read this one before this one. It came out before this one. Is this her debut? It's her first novel, yeah. So it would make sense, so that obviously the theory is that this would have better writing in it than this one because it's her debut. Not necessarily the case. Some writers come out, write a debut, and it's literally the best thing they've ever written in their life. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm intrigued. This one is longer than this one. This one's over 11 hours. This was just over 9. So it's going to take me a little bit of time to get through this, but I do have the audiobook, which is fantastic news because I've got bookmarks to pack today. So that is my plan. So I'm going to get on with that. I've got a couple of hours of reading before sprints start at 12, which is great news, and the sprints will help hold me accountable. Yesterday they were fantastic for me. The minute I came off sprints I became very sullen in the fact that it took me a hot minute to carry on reading again. I did get through Savage Lands in the end. I was intrigued enough to do that, but the sprints just help keep me accountable. So I'm going to try and go as long as I possibly can today. It's obviously probably not going to be for the whole duration of what I've got left on the timer, but it is what it is. So I'm going to get on with that and I will check back in with you later. Okay, hello. It's much later in the day. It's 4:05. I've just been filling out some Carosel, but I have finished A Flicker in the Dark by Stacey Willingham, and I've got 6 hours and 46 minutes left on the clock. I've just paused it while I do this update. I really enjoyed this. I had my suspicions very early on. I can't remember if I already said this or not, but I had my suspicions very early on in this book of who it would be, and it was one of those where it led you down a certain path and then right at the very end just forked off. And it was really good, very twisty. It had me suspecting several different people in this book. It was really interesting. The atmosphere was great and the characters were fantastic. The writing style was really good. It makes me more eager to pick up All the Dangerous Things, which I'm already excited to pick up anyway. The plot for that book sounds great. So I did really enjoy this one by Stacey Willingham, and I will be wanting to pick up more from her in the future. I do like a thriller where you have suspicions and then you're completely wrong, but you've been led by the book this whole time to think it was a certain person. I really enjoy that. But also where it leads you to then suspect someone else as well, and then it ends up being someone you didn't suspect at all. I just really enjoyed it. It was very, very good. I had a great time with it, giving it 4 stars. So let's get on with our 5th roll. Okay, so the last roll we were on the woods prompt. Let's do our next roll. We got 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Black cat. So for our 5th roll, we did get Black Cat. This is the second time I've had this now for Spookopoly, because I had it in my October TBR as well. And for that one, I did pick up Starfell, the 4th one in the series. But I'm not going to pick that one up for here, because I did say that I would only put those original Spookopoly books on chance, if I landed on a chance. So I've found something else, and I completely forgot that I've got a couple of manga that feature cats as characters. So I'm actually going to go for Cat Gamer Volume 1. I've had this one on my shelves for a while now, and I'm looking forward to getting to it. So I'm really excited to get to this. I know nothing about this, but it says level up with a new feline friend. Rico, a 29-year-old office worker with an obsession for video games, finds her quiet life upended when she takes in a stray cat. Having no experience with pets, Rico uses lessons drawn from video games to guide her in cat care, while her cute companion tries to understand Rico's behaviour and personal obsession through a cat's world view. It sounds adorable. Look how cute this cat is. It sounds adorable, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I'm going to give this a read. I don't anticipate it's going to take me too long. I'm hoping, I've got 33 minutes left of this sprint, and I'm kind of hoping that I might be able to read it during that, so that I can potentially fit another book in. So let's get on with this, and I will check back in with you when I've read it and I've got an update for you. Okay, howdy. Not much time has passed. It's 10 to 4. I can't, in fact, there's been one sprint since I last updated you. Or was it partway through that sprint? No, yeah, it was partway through that sprint since I last updated you. I think I had 33 minutes left of the sprint. I did. I remember. So it's been like 50 minutes because another sprint has just started, and I wanted to come on and update you. I've just finished Cat Gamer. It didn't take long at all to get through this. This was absolutely adorable. Our main character, Rico, she's really, really sweet, but she's the sort of person, she's very much like us bookish people. She gets all her work done at work so that bang on 5 o'clock she can run home and she can get on her gaming. And I feel like I am very much so like that when I had a day job. Where I just wanted to get home so I could read. So that's adorable, and a stray cat ends up being found outside the office, and the guard brings it in and is like, does anyone want to take this stray cat home? And it's almost like her entire mind and mouth lose complete control, and they're just like, yeah, I'll take it. So she takes this cat home, and she's essentially using her knowledge of gaming to look after this cat. and it's absolutely adorable. Their relationship is very, very cute. You get little sections as well towards the end of the chapter with Rico. You get little sections of the cat's thoughts as well, and it's just really, really sweet. And I've added the rest, volumes 2 and 3, to my wish list. Volume 4 comes out in January, so I'm going to keep my eyes open for that. So adorable, very, very adorable. I also wanted to mention as well, while we're doing the Spookopoly board, this is the second book I've manifested onto this TBR this weekend. I don't know how it's happened. I've been doing sprints with my patrons all weekend, and I mentioned to them yesterday that I've really wanted to read Savage Land, so I'm hoping I can get it on the board. And I actually went through the board and wrote down books for each options for the prompts, because I thought, well, it'll save me time having to then stand in front of my shelves and find a book when I'm indecisive. I'll do it now. So I wrote Savage Lands down for green cover, and I think I wrote it down for Becca-Rec as well, and maybe 1 or 2 others. I can't remember if it fit in any others. And green came up. The next prompt I rolled was green, so I manifested that. And then I found this while I was looking for my November TBR earlier on this morning, and I was like, oh my god, that would be perfect if Black Cat comes up later on for the prompt, because I didn't have anything for that. And I was like, that would be perfect for that. Fantastic, I'll write it down. I manifested it. And then I said to my patrons earlier on that I really fancied reading Juniper Hill by Devney Perry. Let me just show you what's happened with the 6th roll. Okay, so we landed on Black Cat last time. Let's do our 6th roll. We got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Toffee Apple. So we got Toffee Apple. And the prompt for this is to pick a book that's sticky, something that you feel like you're not going to be able to put down, something that's just going to have you hooked. It's going to get its tender hooks in you. And Indigo Ridge, literally, I could not let it go. The only reason I will put that book down is to stop for a sprint for the chatty bit, to go for a wee, to get a drink, or to get something to eat. It's the only reason I will put that book down. This is perfect for that prompt. I was thinking Powerless for that prompt, but I'm just super in the mood to continue on with this series. So I'm very excited to get this one. I had this down on my list for Toffee Apple. It would also work for Pumpkin Spice and also green on the cover, in case I got round to green again. So yeah, I've manifested 3 books onto my TBR, and I'm not sure how I've done that. So also, the audiobook for this is only 3 hours and 20 minutes long, and we have 6 hours and 17 minutes left. So I'm going to end up with just under 3 hours left. We could end up with a 7th roll here. Should I try manifesting something else? I'm really excited about this. So this series follows a group of brothers and also friends, I think, if I remember correctly, unless it's just brothers, in which they are the Edens, and they live in a small town in Quincy. And in the first one, following Winslow, and I can't remember the name of the guy off the top of my head. She's the new cop in town, and he is obviously one of the brothers. They're quite a rich family, and there is some very disturbing young girl deaths going on, and Winslow is there to help try and solve them. A romance ensues. It's a relatively dark romance. So in this one, we are following Memphis, who has arrived at the very end of Indigo Ridge. She's arriving at Quincy, and she's sat at the side of the road. She's struggling to find Juniper Hill, which is the place where she's supposed to have this new job. And she is working for Mama Eden, essentially, and she's struggling to find the place. The direction's not right. She's got a crying baby in the back of the car, Drake, and she's sat on the side of the road crying. She's so stressed. She's running away from her old life, and Winslow ends up pulling up and helping her out. Now, it turns out that Knox, the guy we're following in here, is quite a bit of a loner. He likes to keep to himself, and Winslow ends up saying to Memphis that she can stay with Knox. He's got a spare place where she can stay. And I assume a romance is going to ensue from here. So I'm very excited about it. I don't know how dark this is going to get again. I wonder if it's you know, a bad ex or something. But I'm really, really excited about it. I know Indigo Ridge was glued to my hand unless there was something I specifically had to do, like pee, eat, or drink. or stop to chat for sprints. So I'm going to get on with this. I am very excited. I cannot wait. And I will check back in with you maybe about halfway through. I'll do my best to try and do that and keep you posted, let you know how I'm getting on, etc, etc, and I will speak to you then. Okay, hello, it's Monday afternoon. I was gonna say Monday morning. It's not. I've had a really slow start to the day today because I just have struggled to function this morning. I'm absolutely shattered. I forget how much energy it takes to do these 24-hour timer challenges, because it is solid 12 hours a day of reading. I actually ended up with 2 hours left over. I was going to do a final roll and see if I could possibly get a manga or a graphic novel in to try and take up those 2 hours. But by the time I'd come off sprints last night, I think it was about 9:40 when I came off sprints. I'd done 9 hours and 45 minutes of sprinting, I think, for the day, and I was absolutely shattered. So I just ended up watching After Everything. They're terrible, I know, but I can't stop watching them. I just ended up watching After Everything on Amazon Prime, and then went to bed. Not that I slept, I doom scrolled on TikTok for a little bit and played some games, but yeah, that's what I ended up doing. So it's been a long weekend, but I've had a fantastic weekend. I can't believe how much I've got through. I nearly got to 7 books. I've managed 6 in total. The stack is pretty large and I'm really happy with how I've done. So overall, I managed a total of 2,288 pages, which is phenomenal. Incredible. It's probably like half the pages that I've read for the month are in this stack. Maybe that's not true actually, because that other stack there is looking pretty large for this month. But yeah, I did really well. So we started off the readathon with Gemina, which I gave 5 stars. This was my 3rd reread of this book and I gave it 5 stars naturally. Then we went on to Lore Olympus Volume 5. I didn't give you much detail about this. To be fair, I can't tell you too much. I really enjoyed it. I loved the art style. I don't know if I'm repeating what I've already said, but I love the art style. I feel like this was a semi-filler, but also not. There were a couple of reveals in here, and I really enjoyed myself and gave it 4 stars. So I had a good time with this one. I can't remember what reading order I read these in. I think this was next. I don't know if Lore Olympus was yesterday or today. Yeah, Saturday or Sunday, either way. I went on to this one then, A Flicker in the Dark by Stacey Willingham. I had a really good time with this one. I will say, I think the reveals really brought this book up another star, to be perfectly honest, because I was getting to a point where I was like, this is just I don't know, I feel like it's too obvious who this is. And then it got to the reveals and I was like, okay, that's not where I saw this going. And it was really good. I had a fantastic time and I gave it 4 stars. I did read Savage Lands by Stacey Marie Brown, which is Becca's Alpha Ho book club read for the month of October. I can't believe I've actually completed one of these as well. Who is she? I am shit at book club reads. Shit. Terrible. The only one I've kept up with consistently is Literature Book Club, and even then I fucked up on the last one. And similarly, my Patreon buddy reads as well, which even then I haven't read The Ritual yet, which was a few months ago. So I'm terrible at these. Other people's book clubs for Patreon, shit. I'm so bad at them. I never keep up. This, however, chef's kiss. I'm so happy that I gave this a chance, and this was the perfect opportunity for me to pick this up. Cece did give me this one. I don't know when, but it was a while ago, and as soon as I got it, Becca knew I had it. She was like, I don't think you're going to enjoy this, and I was like, shit. And it's just it's not by any means Becca's fault, 'cause it's not, but it's semi put me off a little bit. If someone says to me, I'm not sure you'll enjoy that, instead of forcing me to then pick it up and be like, okay, I need to know, it puts me off a little bit. So anywho, this has been the perfect opportunity to pick this up, and I really enjoyed it. So much so that I've gone and bought the second one. so that I can take part in next month's buddy read, and I'm very excited to do so. So yeah, I ended up giving this one 4 stars. It was fantastic. I had a really good time with it. Then we did end up with Cat Gamer Volume 1. I loved this. This was adorable. I gave it 5 stars. I'm so excited to continue on with this series. I've added the rest of them to my wish list, and the 4th one comes out in January next year. So I'm really, really excited about this. This is so cute. If you're looking for a really cozy, adorable, cute manga that you will need on a rainy sunny day, rainy Sunday, on a rainy Sunday where you just want to curl up with some really cute manga or some cute books, this, put it on your TBR, because this is adorable. It's so cute. I loved it. 5 stars. And then last but by no means least, we have Juniper Hill by Devney Perry. I don't think I gave you a final update on this one. So I loved this. This was fantastic. I just don't know what it is about these types of books where it's a series but it's companion novels, so you're not following the same people. But what I love about them the most is when we have the people from the previous books still in it, quite heavily as well to some extent. I just love that, and I love the family ones. So I've already told you what this is about, but I absolutely loved this. I loved our 2 main characters from this, Memphis and also Knox, and then I loved that we got the characters from the rest of the family that we've seen before, but the main characters as well, Willa and also Griff from the first book. I loved that. I love seeing their relationship progress and how well they're doing. But Memphis and Knox, I adored them. And Drake, the baby, so cute. There were a couple of times where I just like squealed internally, and I was like, oh my god, this is adorable. A couple of times where I had a tear in my eye, a couple of times where I cried, a couple of times where I laughed. This brought all of the feels out in me, and I absolutely loved it. It does get dark towards the end. I think the thing that I love about this the most, listen, romance books are very, very simple. You have a couple who aren't a couple at the start, unless they're fake dating. Then you have, or it's second chance romance. And then they get together somehow, the things happen, and then there is a 3rd act breakup in which they break up under ridiculous circumstances, or sometimes not ridiculous circumstances, but 9 times out of 10, miscommunication, which pisses me right off. I love it when the 3rd act breakup isn't miscommunication, it's something that genuinely I would be like, yeah, same. And then they end up together, there's a happily ever after. What I loved about this was that it wasn't done in the traditional sense of a romance. And I loved that. I loved it. The reasoning, with all the shit that happened at the end, I don't like what happened at the end. By any means. I'm not a fan of the situation they ended up in, but I just thought it was really nice that it was done differently than a 3rd act breakup. Do you know what I mean? I thought it was really, really well done. I love the writing style. I'm so keen to get to the next one. I cannot wait. Gave this 5 stars. This was absolutely fantastic. It's got the same rating as Indigo Ridge as well. I double checked. And I loved it. This series is very quickly becoming one of my new favourite series. Absolutely perfect. So I'm very excited to get to Garnet Flats hopefully next month, because I'm so hyped to continue on with this series. So yeah, absolutely love this. 5 stars. And that was everything. Eesh. That was everything I read for this 24-hour readathon. I think I absolutely smashed it, quite frankly. I did 6 books last time, but none of them were as big as Gemina, for example, and I know it was a reread, but I read it at the same pace as I did the first time I read it, so I didn't read it any quicker, and I just had a great time. I'm really, really happy. I managed to read a new book that has recently made it to my TBR. I managed to read a TBR Vet. I've had this on my books on my shelves since it came out, which was a couple of years ago, I think. This was also a TBR Vet, quite frankly. I've had this for a couple of years as well, I think. And then the Cat Gamer, adorable. I'm so excited that I read that. And then this one, Juniper Hill, another kind of recent to my shelves, but not too recent, couple of months ago. really happy with how this went. I also loved the combination of doing the F1 readathon, in which I don't know if I've necessarily gotten any points, albeit Savage Lands, to be fair, was an intimidating read to me because I was convinced I wasn't going to like that book. So the F1 readathon, Spookopoly, and also trying to do the 24-hour timer challenge as well. I ended up being 22 hours, but it is what it is. And I had such a good time. I hope you have enjoyed this vlog. Chat to me in the comments down below. Have you got any other ideas that I could do to make a 24-hour timer challenge more interesting in the future? So for example, with this one, I combined the F1 readathon, which quite frankly I didn't really do. It was just the readathon with my patrons. I did the sprints, but I haven't necessarily looked at the prompts or anything. I'm not like actively taking part in the prompts. I'm just taking part in the readathon itself. I like hanging out with my patrons. So I had that, but Spookopoly was 100% like a main factor in this. So have you got any other ideas for in future of how I could make the 24-hour timer challenges more interesting? I actually love doing this as much as it exhausts me mentally, because it is a lot over the course of 2 days. I just really enjoy it. I have a fantastic time. I managed to smash my way through a whole bunch of books, and somehow I seem to really enjoy most of the books I'm reading as well. I know last time I did Pole Bearers Club and I gave that 2 stars, but 9 times out of 10 I'm enjoying the books that I'm reading a lot. So I think it's just the process of doing it this way that I really enjoy, and I would like to do it again. But have you got any other ideas of how I could spice it up a little bit, maybe with a challenge or some prompts or something? Let me know in the comments down below, and I shall see you in whatever comes next. Bye for now.